Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 19th September 2022. And this video has been inspired by Carl Vernon's latest video, Mob Mentality, it's titled. I think he only uploaded it literally 3 or 4 hours ago. I'll leave a link to it in the description box in the comment section below. But once again, I find myself in the position where the whole world seems to be going one way and I'm going the other way. Starting to be a rather familiar feeling. First of all, of course, about 2.5 years ago, I was saying, is lockdown really such a good idea? When everybody else was saying, oh yeah, we've got to do it, we've got to do what the government's saying. You know, how dare you even question it? How dare you not stand out on your doorstep and clap the November Hotel Sierra? And then a little bit later on, everybody was rushing out for a certain popular treatment, and I was going the other way thinking, hang on a minute, is this really such a good idea to have this thing? And again, like many people watching this, we did get, oh, you've got to get it, otherwise you're selfish, otherwise you're not doing your bits, otherwise you're not doing the right thing by society, and what makes you think you know better than all of the rest of the people, the majority of the population getting the thing? And then fast forward a bit further to February of this year. Again, if you thought a different way to the mainstream, you went against the current and you started saying things like, hang on a minute, how do we know that it really is the Ukraine who are the good guys here? What if they're not? What if we're not the good guys? And with all of these things, if you go against the grain, you were soon, well, demonized, weren't you? So called a horrible person, had, well, mob mentality kind of against you, didn't you? And people saying, well, really calling you an idiot, calling you a maniac, calling you, well, I don't think I really need to elaborate on all of the sort of name calling that there's been. And today, yet again, I find myself really on, well, going against the current once again. Everybody are sat there, or most of the country are sat there glued to their TV screens, whilst I'm sort of thinking, well, not really that bothered, to be honest with you. I'm going to just get out and about and not really worry about any of that stuff. But you can't help but think on a day like this, what a sort of lonely path we tread sometimes, how against the current you're going. This is what Carl Vernon was saying in his video that I've mentioned. It really does feel like you're swimming against the current, when it might just be so much easier, or it would be so much easier, just to turn around and go with the current. But I don't think that's really what I'm about, and if you're watching this, it's probably not what you're about either. And it's just one of those things that we have to put up with, one of those things that is our destiny, really. We're not designed to go with the flow, to go with the current. We're designed to think a little bit more critically and to think, well, hang on a minute, is it really such a good idea to do what everybody else is doing? or am I on the right path doing what I want to do instead? So today I wasn't, both me and my wife Lorraine, we weren't glued to the TV all day, unlike so many other people that we know who were. Instead, we went out for a nice long cycle ride. We actually found in the middle of it a pub that was open. Apparently, pubs had to stay closed today unless they had a TV going with all of today's events being shown on it. That way they could stay open. But if you went out into the beer garden, which we did because luckily it's quite a nice day today, you could go to the pub and have a drink without having to listen to that stuff. So we got around it, and then we spent the rest of the day running an errand or two here and there, doing a few bits and pieces, a few chores and what have you. So we've kind of managed to dodge that thing, and we managed to have quite a good day, really. So without having to do all of that thing that I'm talking about. I'm not really going to mention it by name, but I'm sure you can guess what it is. And apparently half the world's population tuned into at least a little bit of this thing that was going on. Probably most of the population of this country, but half of the global population. Well, Lorraine and I are part of the half who didn't tune into it. And that thing, which was probably put out by the BBC or someone like that half the global population are watching it, designed to make you feel you're somehow left out or not doing your bit by not watching it. Well, that statistic means, of course, that there's half of the world who haven't watched it. And I don't think globally we're in such a minority. Okay, you could argue that many of those people who didn't watch it haven't got access to TVs or whatever, or they're just in a part of the world that's too remote to receive TV signals or whatever. But there would have been a lot of people who also chose not to watch it. So, and even in this country, I've been out and about, as I say, and there were a lot of other people out and about just enjoying the relatively nice day today, enjoying the bit of fresh air, the countryside, and not being cooped up indoors watching a certain event. So kind of made me think that I'm not swimming against the current, against the tide quite as much. I'm not quite in such a lonely position, and it was good to see. So just a few thoughts on this rather strange day today, and I'll leave it there. Tim from Fairplay now. Thanks for watching.